1975, in fact, entitled Open Public Meeting Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as specified in the Act. Proper notice of this public meeting was provided in the notice. Said notice was posted at the entrance of the Board of Education offices, mailed to the Nutley Sun, the Star Ledger, the North Jersey Herald News, and Nutley Journal, mailed to the Nutley Township Clerk, advertised in the Nutley Sun and Star Ledger, and posted on the district website. This is an official meeting. From the flag salute. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Kuzo, please.
Mr. Gassama?
Here.
Mr. Marcella?
Here.
Mrs. Stanchek Morton? Here. Mr. Ferrara?
Here.
Mr. Klein?
Here.
Ms. Russo? Here. Mr. Solera?
Here.
Ms. German?
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Here. I need approval of the minutes. Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Correspondence. On roll call on that, please.
All
in favor
including
of-
special executive.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fred. All in favor of the approval of the minutes?
Aye.
Thank you. Correspondence.
We do not have any this week.
Superintendent's report.
Okay, well, I know you all want to hear about the facilities, but I'm going to let Karen share all of that exciting news in her report, because it's only fair. You're doing so much great work there. Thank you. Thank you. It has been a really busy time throughout the district, even without all of the facility work, as we get ready to prepare for the teachers' first day on September 6th, and for the students to return on September 7th. A reminder for everybody that it is a half day for students on September 7th and September 8th, and a full day for students on September 9th. Tomorrow is the 9th grade orientation at Nutley High School. We're really excited to start welcoming the students back. Please be advised that the entry and exit protocols at the high school have not changed. People still go in on New Street near Franklin Avenue. Mr. Williams and I sent a letter with that information today, and it is posted on the district website in case there's any confusion. 7th grade orientation here at the middle school is on Wednesday. Last week, I had the pleasure of welcoming 41 new teachers to the district. We held a 3-day orientation for our first-year teachers and a 1-day follow-up for our second-year teachers. I have lots of big thank yous to share for that. It could not have happened without Joe Materia, our new vice principal at the high school, Robin Powell, coordinator of health and PE, Dr. James Riley, who's our supervisor coordinator of fine performing and practical arts, the technology department, Mr. Farrar, our security officer, Mr. Kaczynski, who came and welcomed the new teachers, all of the principals and coordinators who stopped by to welcome the staff, and our own Teachers Association, who held a morning session and breakfast for the new staff on the Wednesday morning. So thank you to all of you, because it was yeoman's work to get it done, but also really exciting to see so many eager people, so many people excited to be joining the district and excited to be working with our students. Tomorrow afternoon and Tuesday afternoon, we have the administrative leadership retreat where we build our team and set our goals with the principals and coordinators. We have a separate opportunity to do that with the cabinet later after school starts. And then news that I think everybody's been waiting for, and I'm excited to share. Our demographer, Ross Haber, is completing his preliminary report and will be presenting to the community at the September 26th Board of Education meeting. That night he'll share what he's found so far in terms of projections for enrollment K through 12 for the coming 5 years. So that again is September 26th Board of Education meeting. And finally, I just want to address a topic that I guess came up at the end of the day here in the district. I heard from Mr. Kaczynski and one of our parents that the parent portal was open. The parent portal is always open. It's there to update personal information about students, email addresses, phone numbers, that kind of thing. It is not scheduled to include any student information, those things like class lists, homeroom teachers, until September 2nd. And that September 2nd date was posted on the website last Wednesday or Tuesday, maybe August 23rd. That did not change. Our teachers were given access to their class information this morning. Due to a problem with our service provider Real-Time, we did have to close that down to the teachers. The parent portal may have closed at the same time. We do not have that confirmation from Real-Time. I have our technology coordinator, Andrew, working with them. We do believe that the teachers' access, and if in fact the parents' access was a problem, was reopened a very short time later. We're told within 50 minutes when the company resolved their issues. Class lists, all of that information will still not be available until September 2nd. And an important note about that, even on September 2nd, the homeroom assignments, the teacher assignments, all of that are subject to change until right before the first day of school. We need to do that based on student need. We need to do that based on enrollment. So all of this opening ahead of time is really a courtesy to help students feel comfortable. And again, that information will be available September 2nd through the parent portal.
Thank you, Dr. Boise. Mr. Jennings.
So everyone has been driving around town and noticing a lot of work hopefully going on, not just at the schools, but also surrounding the schools. Along with the township, we've been doing a lot of upgrades for sidewalks and access areas to all of our buildings. Some of our bigger projects this year has been the security project at Spring Garden. That project is moving along on schedule. The interior renovations have all been completed. The actual front door of the building is being delivered this week, and also the entrance stairs will be completed sometime this week. So we're very happy with that project and the way things are moving, and I know the staff is very excited to move into the new office space and to get things going. The custodial crew working in that building have been working diligently around all of the dust and the construction, but they are very excited and can't wait to greet everyone. They've done a lot of painting throughout the building and are putting all the finishing touches there. The high school interior office reconfiguration project has been completed. That work has been done primarily by our own maintenance crew. The lockers throughout the high school, 1,700 lockers have been totally refurbished. The lockers are repainted and there are all brand new locks put on each one of the lockers. So when you walk through, they actually look like they are brand new, and the hallways just look amazing, so different. It's just amazing. The custodial crew there is busy also painting and prepping, and they have all the floors waxed and getting ready for everyone to return next week. The same type of work has been going on through all the buildings. I'm sure you noticed when you walked into this building tonight how shiny all the hallways look. That's the way it looks throughout the entire district. Not only the hallways, but also the classrooms. The filters get changed, the lighting gets upgraded, little minor repairs get done, the water filters are changed, the wood floors are refurbished. So right down to everything you can possibly think of to spruce up and do what you do in your own home as spring cleaning, well, we do it as summer cleaning. The grounds crew is also very busy with now mowing and trimming and getting all the grounds in order at all the buildings. Washington School, what haven't we done there this year? The parking lot has finally been paved. It's been years in the making, and we were finally able to get that project accomplished this year. The parking area along the railroad tracks has also been extended, so this allows for a lot more parking spaces, not only for staff, but also for parents and anyone who comes to the building for night events. The grounds around Washington School, especially on Walnut Street, all of that ground has been regraded. And about a half hour ago, I guess, the first trailer arrived for Washington School, and the second unit will be arriving tomorrow. These units were specially designed and prepped so that come next summer, they will become double-decker. So one unit will be placed on top of the other. The Yandacoa School trailer is ready and set to go. All the furniture has been moved into the classrooms. The water hookups were completed for the fountains and the bathrooms. Public Service has been working with us. They put up the poles, and the contractor is able to complete the connections tomorrow, after which Public Service will just have to do their finishing detail. So that will be ready for the first day of school. And I think I just about covered most of it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Farrar, just comments on the Washington School. I know a lot of work that your department with the town did over there.
Yeah, you can, I mean, when you go by Walnut Street there, you can see that there's sidewalks down that connect Washington Avenue sidewalks over to, all the way to the Park Avenue sidewalk. So there's, that area there has been transformed. There was never sidewalks there. There was an old fence, so that's been removed. I know there's some talk with the principal there that they're going to be instituting drop, stop, drop, and go. Two types of readers, one for the younger grades and then one for the older grades. So we're going to be doing a lot of changing of the 2-hour parking that's there now alongside Walnut. Because right now it's 2-hour parking except for Saturday and Sunday. I think we're going to keep it to 2-hour parking, but exclude from 7 to 9 in the morning, so that there's going to be no parking there, and it's going to be exclusively used for the stop, drop, and go.
And can you just bring us up to date on the other schools? Because I know Commissioner Mayor Scarpelli did quite a bit of work with that department at the other schools as far as intersections.
Yeah, there was a grant that we received. It's a Safe Routes to School grant. We applied for it probably going back to 2011, and it's taken that many years to get approved and get all the what we call red tape in order. But we have it all. We had it all done, and we were able to break ground this year. And what we're doing at Lincoln School, we redid the intersection of Spring Street, upgraded the handicap ramps. We're going to be doing you can see them down on Park Avenue by Walnut. There's flashing beacons. Those are those lights that if you want to cross, you can press the button and start flashing. So they warn vehicles as they're approaching the intersection that there's somebody that's at the crosswalk. So that'll benefit the school at night, especially on the weekends when there's no crossing guard there. We're doing the similar enhancement over at North and South Spring Garden on Bloomfield Avenue, and the same thing over on Passaic Avenue by Brookfield. We identified those as the 3 main hubs where a lot of the kids walk to school. That's the hubs that they use to get to the school. So it's just a safety enhancement at those locations.
Good. Thank you very much. Committee reports. Ms. Sherman, please.
On August 23rd, the academic committee met. We discussed, we had a presentation by Mr. Levine who provided an overview of the first year of library media curriculum revisions. In addition, he shared a presentation dealing with the upcoming rollout of Chromebooks for grade 6, the eventual plan for the 1-to-1 for grade 7 and 8. Mr. Materi also presented the elementary Spanish curriculum for grades 2 and 3. This is the last step in the World Language Program Review. He shared examples of capstone assessments and connections to the grade 7 to 12 World Language Program. We also reviewed some of the district field trips, professional learning and travel reimbursement expenditures, which are on the agenda tonight for approval. And basically, Dr. Glazer shared with us the end of her 7th week in the district, which has been very busy. She's been very actively engaged in her entry plan. And she continues to welcome any community member organization to schedule an appointment to participate in this process, which is very important. And our next meeting will be Tuesday, September 20th at 5:30 p.m.
Thank you. Mr. Solero.
Thank you, Mr. Brzezinski. The administrative committee met August 17th. In attendance myself, Ms. Russo, Mr. Carnicella, and Dr. Glazer. Dr. Glazer reported on a preliminary meeting with our demographer, Ross Hyber. He'll be here, she just stated, the community meeting at September 26th, board meeting, doing a presentation. Dr. Glazer also continued to discuss the high number, Dr. Glazer also did a discussion of the high number of variance requests. These are variances where students go to other schools other than the district they're in. She has created a report detailing the number of variances by school and grade that have been granted, the pending request, and is preparing to compare that data with the most updated enrolled numbers. Our response to variance requests will be given this week. There are a number of related policies that we discussed related to residency and to the comprehensive equity plan is on the agenda tonight for approval. There are a large number of policy revisions and policy updates that are needed. At this time, a policy committee will be created at her recommendation. The chair will be Ms. Sherman. The committee members will be myself, Ms. Stanchak Martin, and Ms. Russo. Dr. Glazer remains actively engaged in her entry plan. She welcomes any community personnel. I think it's pretty much the same thing Ms. Sherman just said. The committee also discussed the bus lot property, property acquisition, personnel, and legal items. Our next meeting is September 19th. We also reviewed contracts in reference to legal, architects, and insurance. We're going to be currently working on RFPs and getting them back into a multi-year schedule. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ferraro.
Yes, Mr. President. Finance Committee met on August 23rd. Mr. Nicolette, Mr. Brown provided the committee with an update on the projects and the summer work going on throughout the district, the preventative maintenance program, and the maintenance work orders. Mr. Nicolette reviewed the security projects at Spring Garden and Nutley High School. He also reported on the repair to the entrance stairs at Washington School, the Washington stucco repairs, and the parking lot paving and the paving along Blue Drive. The wood floor refurbishments, fence and paving at Washington School, the high school locker refurbishment, and the high school classroom locks will be replaced this fall, and the committee reviewed the results of the bid opening for the chiller at the middle school. Mrs. Jamins and Mr. Lamora presented tonight's finance resolutions, including the budget transfers, use of facilities, and contractor payments and change orders. And the committee also discussed the bus lot, the property acquisition, request for use of facilities, personnel items, and the legal update. And our next meeting is scheduled for September 20th.
Thank you very much. We now come to the portion of our meeting where we allow members of the public to address the board. In this section, we allow questions or comments on only the resolutions addressed in tonight's agenda. Our board regulation number 601 allows 20 minutes for these communications. Each person should be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask you to try to stay within this requirement. Speakers may speak more than once only after all others wishing to speak on a topic have been heard. All statements will be directed to me as the chairperson. No one may address board members individually. Please be reminded that if your statement is too lengthy, abusive, obscene, irrelevant, or redundant, your participation may be terminated. Please remember to always state your name and address each and every time you address the board, and sign in with Mr. Cucuzzo before you take the microphone. Anyone wishing to speak now on resolution items, this is the time. If not, thank you very much. Ms. Sherman, will you take the academic resolutions, please?
Mr. President, I move academic resolutions 1 through 2. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Balsamo?
Yes.
Mr. Carnicella?
Yes.
Mrs. Stanchek Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Scalera?
Yes.
Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. Mr. Scalera, will you take administration, please?
Yes, Mr. Kaczynski, I'd like to move administrative resolutions 1 through 3 as written.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Balsamo?
Yes.
Mr. Carnicella?
Yes.
Mrs. Stanchek Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Scalera?
Yes.
Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. Mr. Ferrara, will you take finance, please?
Yes, Mr. President, I make a motion to move finance resolutions 1 through 27 as written.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Balsamo?
Yes.
Mr. Carnicella?
Yes.
Mrs. Stanchek Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Scalera?
Yes.
Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. Mr. Klein, will you take personnel resolutions, please?
Yes, Mr. President, I move personnel resolutions 1 and 2 as written. Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Balsamo?
Yes.
Mr. Carnicella?
Yes.
Mrs. Stanchek Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Scalera?
Yes.
Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Your notice on the agenda, we just approved one of the new director positions, That's the Director of Communications, and we're very fortunate tonight to have that new person with us. It's Miss Karen Greco. Karen, if you don't mind standing. Karen has a tremendous background in corporate communications and public relations, as well as school district communications. So we're very fortunate to have you joining us. We'll look forward to getting you started. You want to say anything?
Sure, thank you. Thanks very much for this. I'm so excited about the opportunity. I've had good fortune to meet some of you, and I'm really happy to be here. I know a lot about the community, and I'm thrilled to be part of the team, so thank you for tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In this section, we allow questions or comments on all school-related matters. Our regulations allow 30 minutes for these communications. Again, each person should be limited to 3 minutes. We ask you to try to stay within that requirement. As I stated earlier, all statements will be directed to me. Anyone wishing to talk on any school-related items, now is the time. Come right up to the microphone. Check in with Mr. Kuzo first with your name and address, please.
I wasn't here for the academic meeting in August, but I have some concerns regarding the language education that's going on in grammar schools. I have 3 children in the school system, one which is entering kindergarten now in September. But my concern is when it comes to the language, and it doesn't matter to me what language is taught, or, as long as it's consistent. My son started Spanish in 2nd grade, and then my daughter was doing Italian in 5th grade. And I really couldn't wrap my head around that because I kind of felt I'm bilingual myself, and I feel like even at my age, I'm still learning a lot of words that I'm not fluent with. And I consider myself to speak the language very well. But however, I don't understand how a child will be able to grasp anything within a year or 2 of any language. Because of course we send our children to school and we want them to master and learn whatever it is that's being taught to them. So it puts pressure on the parents, it puts pressure on the children. But then if we're going to hop around from one language to another, I don't see how any of that is going to, how they're going to grasp any of that and it'll stick. So I kind of feel like it's a waste of time, really, if they're going to jump around from language to language.
So fortunately, and Ms. Sherman, I don't know if you brought the presentation with you, but
I did.
we just finished the 4th year of the program review of world language, and we had a presentation from Mr. Materia, who at the time was the coordinator of world language, and over the course of the 4 years, they've done a lot of surveying of the community, they've done a full review of the program, pre-K to 12, and they've actually amended the curriculum instruction and assessment. So Italian is one of the languages that is taught, as well as Spanish and Latin, is 7 through 12. And Spanish will be elementary only, no Italian at the elementary level. And I know that you have it's 2nd and 3rd grade?
2nd and 3rd grade.
2nd and 3rd grade starts with the Spanish, and then 4th and 5th with Spanish. And 6th grade has the extended hours to match what's happening at the middle school with world languages.
So I'm sorry, so you're saying that elementary will be just Spanish now until
all the
they
way
get to 2nd
through.
grade and then...
And they can continue with Spanish,
Okay.
or they can choose a different language.
Well,
And
then,
the goal is to address exactly what your
Exactly
concern
what you
is.
said.
right?
You were right on point.
And also, the goal is to make it more interactive, not just learning words at random, but to make it so that you can have important conversations.
so that it can
How do I
stick.
get medical aid? How do I get to a so it'll be more conversational as opposed to just rote vocabulary.
We're looking towards fluency and even looking with the new coordinator that we're interviewing and hoping to hire next month to even look at the seal of biliteracy for our high school students as they graduate.
Great, that's wonderful.
So you're
Thank
right
you.
on point.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
I can go home now.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to address the board? Is there any old business to come before the board? Any new business to come before the board? I think under new business, we want to discuss the policy committee that we're forming, and then probably from what we understand now, our policy committee will be setting up a policy that will cover the permanent policy committee that will be
We
part
have
of
to
us.
change the
We
policy.
have to change the policy to have a policy. It was brought to our attention by our superintendent, who is doing an awesome job and trying to get up to speed very quick in our district, that a lot of our policies, and we do have an extensive amount. If you go to the district website, you will see an extensive amount of policies. But a lot of these policies, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but there's a percentage of the policies that need to be revised, reviewed, examined, which ones are necessary, which ones need to be updated. So we have decided to form a policy committee that will do just that. Review the entire policy book, make sure everything is current and consistent. So we look forward to a future report. Well, policies, we formally form the policy committee and then
And the meeting, we already have policies to review.
we do. The NJSBA did announce policy updates that you saw on tonight's agenda, which were just the immediate ones that had to be updated, but there's still a laundry list of others that we'll have to examine.
And, you know, among those tonight, just since it does say that they are first reading, it's an unusual thing from the state with their weighting. You should know that all of these revisions were primarily for language, change of language. They've changed topics like social or economic status to socioeconomic status, those kinds of changes. Nothing that is a change to the actual policy. These are mostly
Correct.
language revisions.
Thank you. Any other new business? Whereas the Board of Education will be discussing matters exempt from public discussion pursuant to NJSA 10-4-12. Now therefore be resolved that the Board of Education recess to close executive session at this time to discuss personnel and property acquisition. Be it further resolved that the results of this discussion will be made public by inclusion of the agenda of the subsequent meeting of the Board of Education, or when the reasons for discussing such matters in closed session are no longer exist. All in favor?
Aye.
First and second. Who?
Second.
Freddie first, Freddie second.
Who's on third?
We're good. I know. Yeah.